If you bought a house or want to buy one in North Cyprus, this video is for you. This week, the North Cyprus government introduced new rules for real estate and foreign buyers. Not only agents, but the construction industry is shocked because these rules affect them the most. For weeks, we have heard the rumors about these changes. Our real estate agents union and some property lawyers, including my wife, tried to meet with the government to make the rules fairer and more logical. But the government did not listen and made the law very difficult to follow and complicated. Now, let's dive in. First, I want to explain why the government made this law. The main reason is that in the last 2 years, over 20,000 houses were sold to the overseas, including European, British, Russians, and Iranians. This number may seem small, but for a country with only 500,000 people, it's huge. In some towns, local people, including old expats who have lived there for over 20 years, start to feel like they are minority. They blame the rising property and food prices on new people moving in. They are worried that their children will not be able to buy houses in the future. Honestly, I don't blame them. If you visit İskele and Tatlısu, you will understand their feelings. There are more Persian and Russian billboards than English or Turkish. Because of these concerns, the government is being pushed to make some rules and limits to protect the locals and real estate industry. For example, last year in North Cyprus, with estimated 400,000 population, there were 8,000 foreign buyers. In South Cyprus, with 1 million people, there were only 6,900 sales to overseas buyers. In Turkey, with 90 million population, they had only 35,000 foreign sales. And these countries are selling passports if you invest on real estates. And in North Cyprus, we have any offers like that. And we reached over 8,000 sales only in last year. These rising numbers worried the government and some local residents because the property prices have doubled in the last 2 years. In some areas like İskele and Tatlısu, you might think you are in Iran or Russia because you hardly see any locals in restaurants, in markets. Now back to the new regulations. Here are some summary. Number 1, registration requirements for the new law. If you bought more than one property, you have to register it within 6 months. And you must contact your lawyer and make sure to get them registered. After registration, you must sell them within 24 months because you are only allowed to have one property in your name. And this is not the new law, it was always as the same. You probably have been told that you can buy multiple properties and it's okay not to register them by your agent, developer, or influencer acting as an agent with no license. If you watch my videos, I always mention 2 words: work with local agents and location, location, location. Now you see what I've been trying to say. Now let's get back to the subject. If you have a purchase permit, you must register the property in your name within 6 months. If not, your purchase permit will be cancelled and you only have 2 times that you can apply. If you bought through a trustee, you must register the property at the land registry within 75 days. Number 2, this is for the buyers who are planning to buy here. All properties must have full or semi-title deeds. Contracts without title deeds will not be accepted by registration. No more share title deed properties are allowed to be sold. And this is very interesting because it's not also allowed to be sold to the overseas. This is including also locals. As you can see, this law is full of catastrophic mistakes and needs to be changed. And I will explain on further down. Number 3, penalties. If you don't follow any of these rules, you may face a penalty up to $500,000. GBP. I'm not joking. This is the rules they put. They say the penalty will be 500 times as the basic salary, which is about equal to 500,000 GBP. Temporary concessions. However, with the big pressure from the builders and estate agents, the government agreed to allow contract sales with planning permissions for up to 1 year. Number 5. Limits on non-citizen overseas buyers. Overseas property sales cannot exceed more than 7% of the state's land or 3% in cities. Any residential complex cannot have more than 80% foreign buyers and no more than 51% from one nation in the same complex. It's like if there is a complex with 20 houses, only 10 of the houses can be owned by Russians or Germans. As you can see, in the future, it will not be easy to buy properties in North Cyprus. And new property prices, I believe, will continue rising in certain areas because builders may need 2 years to complete necessary documents, planning permissions, and the constructions to be able to sell the house and make a contract. However, in some areas, property prices may start dropping very, very fast because multiple unit buyers will have to sell in these areas. You can find out where these areas if you watch my previous videos or if you subscribe to my email list. Before closing this video, I want to give a big shout out to my clients who trusted us. All your contracts are registered by our conveyancing departments and by your lawyers, so there is nothing to worry about. I also want to shout out to buyers who bought against this law. I'm sure your lawyers are trying to find a way to sort it out. No need to make panic because there are 20,000 buyers right now already involved in this case. And this is this is my estimation, this is a 4 billion euro worth case. On the other side, the Estate Agents Association and the bar associations are getting ready to take action and take this law to a high court until they change it to more fair and logical way. This is a summary of new regulations that has been introduced to North Cyprus real estate market. I will send the full translation in English, in German, and I will also try to make it in Russian by Tuesday. Make sure you subscribe down your email address and then you will receive it in English, in German, and probably in Russian. Thanks for watching and see you in another video.